Today's video we're going to be doing La Merienda, the version we do in the academy, in the program. The key of this song, you should know. So where do you find the key? Right here, right after the treble clef, that little cool looking swirly thing looking thing. Right after that, we have the two hashtags or the two sharps. Those two sharps is indicating to us that is in the key of D. And how do you know that? Well, if you remember your scale, which scale has two sharps? It should be D. The correct answer is D. D scale has two sharps. So this song, La Merienda, it is in the key of D. Can it be in any other key? Yes. Remember, we talked about that also in some of our programs, that any song can be in any key. It just depends on the singer. And we accommodate the singer, whether the singer has a high voice or a low voice. In this case, the sweet spot for the singer is in the key of D. So let's start from the beginning. So your first note right off the bat is not going to be on the tape. Your first note is going to be low second finger, so touching the first finger. Quarter, quarter, half. That's the first two measures. Same note 3 times, but the last time it's a half note instead of a quarter note. That's the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the first 5 measures. So before you even go on to the next part, make sure the first 5 measures sound good. Go back and check the reasons why funny sounds might be coming out of the violin. Make sure you're not doing any of those funny sounds. Make sure you don't sound like that. None of the funny sounds. So go back to that video and make sure you sound good. The notes: G, 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 F sharp, E, D, D, D. Now we're going to call this an F sharp because that's the name of the note. But for you beginners, the first finger is on the tape. Okay, so you don't have to worry about moving your finger in a different way. The only note that you should be worrying about that is the low 2 at the beginning. So at the beginning, it's not on the tape. Okay, now you have to remember that. Every time, tomorrow, the day after, when you take out the song, the first thing you look at is the title. The second thing you look at is the key signature, so that you know where your fingers are going to go on the violin. Sometimes you do play a high 2 in some songs. Sometimes you don't in this case. So it's G, not G sharp. It's played with the same finger, but it's on a different spot. Okay, so for right now, low 2 is your first note. G, 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 F sharp, E, and you go 3 fingers on the A string, which is D. Okay, and those of you who have the music, read along with it. Even if you've already memorized, read along with the music so that you get better at reading. Remember, more important than playing this song is learning how to read it. Okay, because this song will come and go, but reading the notes will stay with you forever. If you want to learn this crazy new song that just came out, download the sheet music. And there you can learn it on your own. You don't need anybody else to teach it to you, because you know how to read. And these are simple notes. G you should know already. F sharp you should know. E definitely. D. If anything, the D would be one of the new notes that you're learning. Okay, and then you have a rest. That little lightning bolt Harry Potter looking thing is a rest. It is a quarter rest, so we rest for 1 beat. So 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. And how many times do you play that part? So it's 3 full measures and then a D. So 1, 2, 3. And then the D. So you end up playing the D note 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So those notes are D string, and then 1 finger on the G. Remember, 1 finger on the G string. By now you should know the names of your strings. We cannot continue if you still haven't decided that you're going to memorize the names of the strings. That's the first thing we learn in violin class. E, A, D, G. Okay? And if you saw what I did there, be able to play those strings without having to look at your violin. That was the A string. Here's the G. Here is the E. Now I'm going to play the D. And how do I do that? I memorize where my arm is. I've played the G so much that I know that it's going to be right here. It's all, if you think about it, you put your violin up, you play, it's in the same spot every single time. You're not doing something different. You're not doing something different every single time that you can't remember how it feels. Remember how it feels. Remember how the E string feels, how the A string feels, how the D string feels. And if you mess up, you use your ear and you fix it. So if I want to play the A, when I hear that right away, I heard the D string, so I'm going to fix it. I'm going to move a little bit down so that I only play the A. So it's okay to make a mistake as long as you fix it. But for that, you need to know that you're making the mistake. So you need to be aware of your own sound so you can control it. So you know that you sound good because you're taking care of what's coming out of your violin. So that part, some of you in class were doing like opposite. You were putting one finger on the D string and playing the open G. That's not how it is. It's the open D. No fingers on the D, one on the G. Back and forth. Okay, now we're at letter A. And letter A starts on the F sharp. But what we want to do is we want to start, we call it on the pickup. The pickup is one or two notes, a couple of notes right before the beginning of the measure. Ba bam ba ba. Because that sentence, that phrase, ba bam ba ba, it doesn't start right on the measure. It starts a little bit before. So we're gonna play what we call pickup to A. Ba bam ba ba. So here, and it starts on A. There's letter A. A is technically on the F. So why can't we just start on the letter A? Because we'd be chopping up the sentence. It's not a full sentence unless we play. That is part of that phrase. Okay, so pick up to A. We start on the A string. And then we go back to familiar notes, which is the F sharp. And then A, and then D. So now what's hard about here is not the notes you should know. The rhythm is the tricky part. So we have some triplets there. So how do we count triplets? So here are quarter notes. So assuming that this is the tempo. Bam, 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 bam. Those are quarter notes. Here's eighth notes. Here's triplets. Ba 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 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 ba ba ba. So that would be the triplets. That's kind of how you figure out how this song goes. If you were reading this on your own, that's how you would figure out. Well, okay, those are triplets. How do the triplets go again? Ba 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 ba. Remember, there's 3 triplets per beat. Da 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 da. 1 2 3 1 2, or triplet, triplet, triplet. The other hard part of the rhythm is at letter A. You have a dotted eighth note. Everybody looking at letter A in La Merienda. At the beginning of that measure, not the pickup. After the pickup at letter A, you have a dotted eighth note and a 16th note, which together equals 1 beat. So that's how it would sound. And how I like to explain that is at the very last possible spot, play another F. So start on the F, like if it was a quarter note. And at the very last possible spot before the next beat, play another F. And then you'd play your beat 2. So this is beat 1. Last possible note, note that you can squeeze in. And then you play whatever is next, which in this case is the triplet. I move my body so you can see where beat 1 is and where beat 2 is. 1, 2. Bam, ba, 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 bam. Bam, ba, 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 bam, bam. Okay, so how do you know that rhythm at letter A? I just explained it to you. I just taught it to you. Listen to it. Those of you who've been in class hearing this song over and over, you know how that rhythm at letter A sounds like now. Now, the hard part is in the next song or the next song where you see that same rhythm, being able to identify it and play it and say, hey, that rhythm, I know that rhythm. We learned it in La Merienda. It might be different notes, but it's the same rhythm. Because what most of you will end up saying is, how does this song go? How does the song go again? So you, again, more importantly than learning La Merienda is learning how to read it. You're learning new notes, you're learning new rhythms, and you're gaining experience. Hopefully you're gaining the experience to use what you've learned here to make the next songs easier. And that's how you get better. That would be La Merienda. And that's the beginning, and that's the end of the beginning. So let's play it all. Let's play it again if you want to follow along. Here's the tempo. 1, low 2. Remember, low 2, and you have to remember. I can't keep reminding you that it's a low 2. 1, 2, ready, go. Rest. That's it. Careful there at the end to not do this. Because the last note there at the end is not an eighth note. It's not short. It's a quarter note. It's quite long. Okay, so make sure to hold it out. Don't be in a hurry to end the song. It's not that. It's... And then we're at, then we would be at measure 14, which you have the singing part and you have some adornos. Let's skip all the way down to the end, all at the very bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the last 5 measures. Remember, measures are separated by lines that go up and down on the staff. So if you count the space in between the lines, the bar lines they're called, that would be 1 measure, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, right where it says 3x, it says D, C, al fine. The first note you have after that, and it looks like it is going to be the same thing as the beginning. But remember, at the very end, the last 3 notes are short. So they should have staccato markings on the top, so like a little dot on the very top of the note to indicate that they're short. So let's play the end, which again is just like the beginning, except for the last 3 notes are short. 1, 2, ready, go. That's it. So short, but still in time. You got to keep the time the same. Just because they're short doesn't mean you squeeze them closer together. They're short, but you got to wait. The next note has to wait its turn. Just like that. Okay? And that would be La Merienda in the key of D. The tempo, if you look at the very beginning, at the very top, it says a quarter note equals 100. If you have a metronome, which you all should have, either download the app or go on metronomeonline.com is a good resource. Type in 100 and hear the clicking, how fast it is. So remember the speed, which we call tempo, can be fast or it can be slow. So when we are performing the song, our goal is 100. Quarter note equals 100. 100 beats per minute is our speed, our goal for this song. And that's La Merienda. If this is too hard for you, practice it slowly. I would rather that you play it slowly and sound good than you try to play it fast and not sound good. Okay? Because when you play it slow and good, all you have to do is keep playing it, repetition, and slowly you're going to build up speed. Okay? But when you try to play it fast and you don't sound good, what you have to do is slow down. Slow down until you can play it. Again, how I say how fast, how slow should you play it? Play it as fast as you can. Okay? As fast as you can. Not as fast as you can't. As fast as you can. And that includes good sound. And that's La Merienda.